Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mr. Chairman, for conducting this timely and important meeting. Let me cut right to the chase. The Biden administration has brought about historic achievements for labor under the Rapid Response Mechanism, a provision this committee helped develop in the USMCA. Ms. Bader-Blau, in your testimony, you argued that the committee must prioritize labor rights for workers in Taiwan. My question is, how could we most effectively apply a provision like the Rapid Response Mechanism to Taiwan to protect labor rights?
Thank you for the question. The Rapid Response Mechanism under USMCA in Mexico has led to historic achievements. Workers have immediate redress for abuse that didn't exist under previous trade agreements. We have seen the Rapid Response Mechanism in Mexico be used effectively to benefit fundamental worker rights, like the right to organize and bargain, in ways that have led to the most dramatic and most exciting new labor organizing anywhere in the global economy at the moment. So that kind of mechanism, immediate redress, recognition of fundamental rights at work, tied to trade law and immediately enforced, is hugely important and sets a new floor.
Thank you. Along those same lines, the USMCA contains the most comprehensive set of environmental provisions of any U.S. trade agreement. Mr. Wu, in your written testimony, you mentioned how deepening bilateral trade ties with Taiwan could present a template for future global cooperation and other priorities such as the environment. What would be the priorities for environmental protection in the trade deal with Taiwan, and how could we build on the environmental provisions in the USMCA to protect those environmental priorities?
Thank you, Congressman. I think USMCA is certainly an achievement in terms of setting a cutting-edge environmental protection, but I think there's more work to be done. I think Taiwan, as has been pointed out, just like in labor, has also been a node for traffic in certain endangered species. The Thai administration is certainly wanting to show leadership on that front. I think it's a chance to sort of lock in high standards there that weren't necessarily achieved in other agreements like the CPTPP, and really sort of then port that into IPEF and have that be an opportunity to do so. Same thing here on climate change initiatives, on building a green economy, but also in standard setting. That's going to be really important when we look at renewable technologies and so forth. And so I think having the U.S. and Taiwan have a framework to work together closely on that is going to have gains and ripple effects in supply chains throughout the region. Thank you.
What would be your top priority of those?
My top priority would be on coordination on the key renewable technologies, including the types of inputs, and on standard setting there, right? If we look at that, China by itself has a gravitational pull because of the size of its market, because of its control over upstream critical inputs. The region needs to work together with Taiwan to make all that happen.
Thank you. Ms. Glasser, how can the committee best balance expanding our economic ties with Taiwan, which would clearly help their economy, while also making sure that here at home we're investing in our own domestic high-tech manufacturing, including in semiconductor chips?
Well, thank you, Congressman. Your question is a little bit outside my wheelhouse, and perhaps other witnesses will have a better response than I have, but I believe that the Biden administration has made it a priority to invest in America. I think the recent CHIPS Act is really an example of that, and Congress has played such a crucial role in getting that across the finish line, so that we can compete in this area where other countries have moved so far ahead, and U.S. companies have really fallen behind. So I think we should consider other areas where we can support investment in America and ensure that we are competing effectively with China. We need to, as Biden administration officials have said, invest in America and align with our allies and partners in order to more effectively compete. So I think there are some things we've already done, and there's more that we can do.
Thank you. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.